A beautiful evening to you. You're welcome to Sport Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kingsley Emmanuel. Very happy to be here this evening to bring you up to speed with the latest revolving around the beautiful world of sports. On today's edition of the show, we shall take a look at some results in the UEFA Champions League last night, as well as all the stories revolving around the world of sport. It promises to be an exciting one, and I will urge you to sit tight and sit close to your TV sets, as we have a lot for you this evening. We'll take a break. I will come back from this break. I'll bring you all that you need to know revolving around the beautiful world of sports this evening. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. The Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network, and of course, joining me this evening to do justice on the show today is Michael Emmanuel. Good evening to you, and welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. Good evening, and good evening to our side.
I also have Miracle Onyekazi. Miracle, good evening to you, and welcome to Sport Extraordinary.
Yeah, good evening, Kingsley. Good evening, Port Harcourt.
All right, let's quickly take a look at some interesting issues this evening in the beautiful world of sports. As we hear, Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has scrapped the Ministry of Sports and replaced it with the National Sports Commission. This is the outcome of the Federal Executive Council meeting today, and the fate of John Owan Eno is not disclosed. And the announcement was made by Bayo Onanuga, the spokesman to the Nigerian president. It is not just the Ministry of Sport that has been affected, so also a regional-based ministry. In that regard, so also scrap is the Niger Delta Ministry, replacing it with the Ministry of Regional Development to oversee all the regional development commissions, such as Niger Delta Development Commission, Northwest Development Commission, Southwest Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission as well. Now, the Federal Executive Council also approved the merger of the Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy. So that's the situation of things. There's a twist now when it has to do with sports down here in Nigeria. From reports we're getting, Senator John Waneno, no longer the sport minister of Nigeria as it stands. So, Michael, let me start with you. What do you make of it? John Waneno, a year and some months has been the sport minister of Nigeria. What do you make of it? Why the change at this point in time?
Why the change, I think, is best known to the president. I think it's more like a cabinet reshufflement that he's trying to do out there. And for the Minister of Sport, now former as it is, talking about John Waneno being given a different portfolio, I think it's within the ambit of Mr. President, because this position is under appointments and not elective position, and that is why it is very easy for Mr. President to just wake up one morning and make a change of mind and shift some position and shift the goalpost, have a rejigging of his cabinet and all that, because it is an appointed position and not an elective position. And I think for me, we just keep our fingers crossed to see how the event unfold in the next few days. When the Minister of Sport, John Waneno, was appointed as the Minister of Sport, so many persons actually had doubt looking at his background, from where he was coming from. Look as though that ministry was more like an alien to the then Minister of Sport, talking about John Waneno. So I will not say because of the fact maybe he has performed badly. I will say that is the reason why he has been changed and given a different portfolio. Like I said earlier, I think it's just about the cabinet reshufflement, and it's still within the ambit of Mr. President, to reshuffle his cabinet anytime that he deems fit. And of course, the Ministry of Sport has also been affected, and few other ministries as well. Let's hope that the new ministry that he has created can be able to position men and women that is capable of manning those different ministries that it has also established. And I think for the change of the Ministry of Sport now to Ministry of National Sport Development and all of that, it's just
National Sport Commission.
National Sport Commission is just a change of name, but the big question is, are we really going to see a change of attitude? Are we going to see a change of heart from those men and women that will be manning those positions? Because it's not just good enough that you change a name of a ministry. It's about the intention, and not just because you want to change the name. But if you are talking about true change in the essence of it, then we must be able to put square peg in a square hole, also that we put people that truly matters, people that have an in-depth knowledge of what such ministry is all about, to run such ministry. So for me, I think we'll just keep our fingers crossed, like I said. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, as the event continues to unfold, we'll get to know the reason and why the Minister of Sport, John Waneno, have been taken to a different ministry right now.
All right, Miracle, what do you make of it? Would this have any way of affecting sports down here in Nigeria, either negative or positive?
Yeah, I want to say yes to an extent, because we know how consistent, or how John Waneno has been working since he was given that appointment over a year ago. Taking up that job, he's been making sure that sports development and the growth of sports over here in Nigeria have, or is moving to the next level. We saw how impactful he was when we had issues with the Libyan authorities and the rest, how he came out to make some statements and enforce them. Or he was even one of those people that made sure that enabled the Super Eagles to be back to the country safely. And we know how his regime has been so far. He's been very, very good when it comes to making decisions over there in the sports ministry. So I feel like, yes, not that he will not be at the helm of affairs in the sports ministry, and I think maybe another person will be appointed, or will be given the appointments. I think it will affect our sports development in some certain ways. Maybe we need to find another person that have mentored just below John Owano, I feel like we need another person that just worked hand in hand with him. If not, we'll find it difficult within the next couple of months in our sports development.
Michael, are we really getting this right? Because in a situation whereby ministers are being, reshuffled in this manner, are we really getting this right? There have been the saying of the fact that, putting the right people where they belong. Now, has been there for a year plus now, and now he has been shifted to another ministry, and now possibly we're having another person coming in at this point in time. Do you think we're actually carrying out an experiment, or we're doing what is right at the moment?
For me, it's more like, carrying out a shadow experiment, trying to see who can be able to get it right. And at this point in time, I think it's a very, very wrong move at this point in time, because the inconsistency in leadership and the lack of continuity in terms of project development and ideas is a very big problem. Don't forget, the Minister of Sport has actually laid a template when he came on board, on which the direction to which he wanted sport, to move, and all of a sudden it's been changed right now. A new person will be brought in, and of course you are expecting the new person to also, want to make a different, move, so that he can be able to establish himself and say, yes, this is what I did during my regime. This thing was actually actualized. Maybe he might not even want to continue with the template of the former, Minister of Sport, talking about John Owano, and it's more like taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward. So for me, I think it's an experimental, run that we are right now. And of course, you know how difficult it is for someone who is an alien into a certain ministry, and you are bringing such person. The person will be learning under the job, and learning under the job doesn't actually help you to grow faster. So for me, it will become a problem to the sport development entirely, because the former template have been set by the former Minister of Sport will be totally crashed, and a new person on board will want to also make a statement of intent to say, okay, this so idea or so project will be done in my name, so that after I leave office, at least I will have something to be remembered for, that during my era such thing was actually. This is not the first time we are seeing people who don't actually know anything about a certain position manage such position. Under the former president Muhammadu Buhari, we saw the former governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, being appointed as a Minister of Interior. Now you begin to ask yourself, Minister of Interior was given to Rauf Aregbesola, and he came out boldly. As at then, I did not see any tangible achievement that they actually got during the era of Muhammadu Buhari. So this is not the first time we are seeing a change of narrative, a change of dynamics, reshufflement of cabinet, putting square peg in a round hole, and I think most time it has actually cost us some sort of developmental stride that would have taken us front in order to catch up with other sport developing nations across Africa, not to talk about the world. This is not how things are being done in Morocco. You find it very difficult that a Minister of Sport will just one day you wake up and you hear that the Minister of Sport in Morocco has been changed into a Minister of Interior or any other ministry. I mean, how can you achieve progress? When last did you hear that a Minister of Sport in Morocco, in Liberia, in Tunisia, in South Africa, one day you woke up to hear the news that his role or ministry has been changed and been given a different thing, or call it political compensation, because you can't appoint a man who knows nothing, that has no in-depth knowledge, that has no rooted knowledge about such ministry. Because if actually he has an in-depth knowledge and knows everything about such ministry, I think even if there will be a change of name into the ministry, it will still maintain or it will still man that new ministry. But then he has been taken to a different ministry entirely, telling us that he was a square peg in a round hole. And I mean, to understand the plight of Nigerian sport development, because we are saying this not just for our own interest, but for the interest of sport development right here in the country. And of course, it's not that sport as it is one of the highest employer of labor across the globe right now, especially when you talk about Nigeria and Africa. Where are the jobs? The only way that the teeming population can find joy and get succor is by using their God-given talent to achieve that which they want, put food on their table, and also get to make their name and become famous across the globe, and also become useful into their immediate family and to the larger society. But when the sport development is taken backward, then imagine what happens to that young talented man under the bridge in Oshodi. Imagine what will happen under before that man that is a good boxer around the street fighting street fights out there. Then you begin to think about the fact that there will be an increment of crime and criminalities. When a template and opportunity is not given to some of these talented sportsmen and women, they will tend to find succor in something else, and it will become a problem.
All right, a very big issue as it stands now. John Owanino no longer the sport minister of Nigeria, and we look forward to see. But to that, we hear the president of the Nigerian Football Federation and the NPFL boss, Malam Shehu Diko, has been appointed as the new chairman of the National Sport Commission, which now takes over from the Ministry of Sports Development. And alumnus of Ahmadu Bello University, Zara Diko brings a wealth of experience in the sports industry, marked by his innovative ideas and a reputation as an astute administrator. His journey in Nigerian football administration saw him in 2004 serve as the FIFA Go Project manager, organizing several club tours between Portsmouth FC and Manchester United alongside Kano Pillars FC. And in 2008, Diko became a consultant for the sports committee in the Nigerian House of Representatives, a role he had until 2011. During this time, he played a key role in drafting the National Sport Commission bill in the National Assembly. He led the Nigerian Professional Football League for many years and brought fresh ideas, growth, and stability to the league. His appointment to lead the National Sport Commission comes at a crucial time and is expected to leverage his extensive experience to foster sport development, excellence, and lasting impact on Nigeria's sporting landscape. Shehu Diko Miracle is one man who has been in and out of sports down here in Nigeria. He is the chairman of the National Sport Commission. As I said, it means he's going to be acting as the ministers of sport to say, because John Owanino is no longer there as it stands. What do you make of it? Shehu Diko, during his time when he was chairman of the LMC, the league management company of the league down here in Nigeria, of course. Management committee, yeah. This company, they call it league management, a company as a then. A lot of hitches. People were not that, happy with the way, he went about, in terms of managing the affairs of the league and all of that. Now, he's been appointed as the chairman of the National Sports Commission in Nigeria. What do you make of Shehu Diko with sports down here in Nigeria once again?
Yeah, for me, I would say it's an appointment that everybody saw coming, because this appointment is just, they threw everybody under the bus. It was just an appointment that was made without any form of, will I say, he was not voted for. There was not an election. It was just an appointment that was given from the higher authorities over there. So, but personally for me, I don't think I would expect anything much from the appointment of Shehu Diko, because we've seen over the years how he led the MPFL board. Not so much of an improvement during his reign and during his campaign. And now he'll be overseeing the whole of the sporting activities that will be going on in the country right now as the national sport, the chairman of the National Sport Commission. Personally for me, I wouldn't expect much from him. I want him to surprise me and to surprise the country as a whole, because looking at his reputation in his last job, I don't think he's worthy of even getting this particular job. But yeah, let's see what goes off from now and how he can develop sports in the country.
Shehu Diko once again manage the affairs of sports down here in Nigeria. Mike, I also want to get your perspective. Sheo Diko and sports down here in Nigeria. What do you make of the future for Nigeria when it has to do with sports?
I wouldn't want to be very pessimistic. If not, I would have told you right here, point blank, that I don't expect anything because I still try to, fathom out the legacy that he laid during his tenure as a chairman, league management, company. I can't still find any lasting legacy that I can actually point out and say this is what Sheu Diko did during his time as a chairman of a Nigerian league company then. So for me, I think just a trial. Let's see what he can be able to bring to the table if truly the president is making the right decision. Because I mean, for me, I'm becoming very much worried, Kingsley. Worried in the sense that Mr. President wasn't around for the past couple of weeks right now. Just came back a few days ago and organized a quick fix NEC meeting. And before you know it, there was a reshufflement of cabinet. Then you ask yourself, the travel that he went, did he just go out there to abroad to sit back and begin to, roll out names of those people that is going to reshuffle and put them in different strategic ministry? So I find it very, very difficult to comprehend. And Mr. President just came back a few days ago after being away from the country. While there is price hike in everything, Nigerians are complaining. There have been outcry that Mr. President should come back home and address some of the teeming challenges that Nigerians are facing. Of course, the fuel issue is a story for another day. Just coming back, not less than a week, you begin to make a reshufflement in your cabinet, and in a very strategic position, you are putting people who have not been tested, have not been proven. It looks as though we are doing an experiment, and this experiment may cost us heavily in terms of sport development. That is just my only concern. So for me, I think Mr. President, I don't know the people that will advise him. They should, do better than what they are doing right now. Even if there is need for cabinet reshufflement, I think the president should have taken a month time after coming back from travel, so that he can be able to do a proper perusal and do proper fact finding. Take a look at the background of those who we want to put into those different ministries, because it's not just about political compensation. It has cost us a lot in terms of development going forward. Just because this man was there for me, he rallied around me, he was there during the time of the campaign, he played a strategic role. Therefore, now that he's not a senator, he's not a house member, he's not a minister of this or minister of, let us just find one thing, one portfolio, and compensate him with. Is that how a country develops? Especially when we are talking about a very strategic point of the economy, talking about sport. You don't toy with it. So I think I'm worried, but let's hope to see that maybe this decision is going to be a right one. But I tell you, from the onset, when I heard this news, when it filtered in, I was very, very troubled, because as though we are doing an experiment that may actually boomerang.
Let's see this one, of course, will go down. And at this point, we have to take a break. We'll come back from the break. I'll bring you the latest from the NBA, as well as the UEFA Champions League games tonight. Stay with us, we'll be right back.